Hi everyone, welcome to another card making video. This card I've made for a friend who's unexpectedly ended up in hospital, and she loves little pigs, so I thought this might give her a smile. So I'm using a set by Hello Bluebird called Pig Day, and I'm going to be using 3 of the pigs and a couple of other items from that, and clearly Besotted simple silhouettes. It's the sentiment from that one, wishing you a speedy recovery. So I've started off by using Hello Bluebird stamps, pig stamps. It's called Pig Day, and the clearly Besotted simple silhouettes, which had the sentiment that I wanted to use. So I'm stamping out the pigs on some Copic friendly cardstock, and I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black, which is Copic friendly ink. So I have stamped these a couple of times. Didn't get a very good impression the first time, so I can just overstamp. That's the beauty of using the Mini Misty. So these are the colours of Copics that I've decided to use for the pig, slightly apricot-y rather than pink. So the R000, R00, R02, R05 for the body, and R20 and R22 for the ears. So I'll probably just leave you with the colouring. Speed it up slightly. So what I usually do is actually start with the lightest colour and give it a base coat just to wet the cardboard a little bit, and then I'll go up in the different shades and blending as I'm going. I'm definitely not an expert Copic colourer, so there's bound to be some different tutorials you can watch to learn how to do it. I think it's really important to use the correct cardstock for Copic colouring. I use either Express-It cardstock. This one is actually Spectrum Noir cardstock, or I also use a Hammermill brand, which is one that you can get in America. So now I'm going to use my Sizzix Sidekick to die cut the little pigs out with the matching dies that I've got for the Hello Bluebird sets. I decided just to use my Sidekick because it's a small one, and it's only a little bit of die cutting. Otherwise my other bigger machine's just a little bit awkward to get out when I'm videoing, so I'll just quickly do that. So now I'm just going to stamp out a couple of the extra little set bits in that set, which is the grass tufts. It's also got a matching die, so I'm just using Versaclear, can't think what the colour is actually, it's one of the greens. So I'm just going to stamp that out on some just plain cardstock. Any cardstock will do for that. The VersaFine Clear is a pigment ink, so you just got to make sure you let it dry, otherwise it can smudge. It usually doesn't take too long to dry, just leave it 10-20 seconds perhaps. So now I'm just taping down the little die cuts, a little bit fiddly, once again using my Sidekick. So I think I cut out 3 different sets of that. There's a wider grass and a small piece of grass, so I don't use all of them actually in the end. Now I decided I wanted to add some little extras onto the pigs to dress them up a little bit and make them look either a boy or a girl pig. And so one of the other sets of the Hello Bluebird is actually called Greetings Bear, and it's got a hat and a bow tie and a little collar, which I thought I was going to use, but didn't actually end up using that. And I've also stamped out of the Pig Day set the little envelope, which I'm going to use to sending best wishes and the speedy recovery. So I'll add that once I've coloured those all in. I'll add those to the pig. So I've just done very simple colouring because they're very small stamped images, so you can't really do a lot of in-depth colouring on those. So now what I'm doing is just going to be using my favourite thing, stitch cover up horizontal die, to give me a couple of windows on my card. I'm now ink blending with Distress Oxide, Mowed Lawn and Lucky Clover, just giving a little bit of depth into that background. So once again using my makeup brushes that I've found, which are really good for blending, and using my Bristol smooth cardstock, which is my go-to cardstock when I'm doing this type of background. I've already die cut it out, this bit, and now I'm going to be stamping the sentiment on, which I'm using VersaFine Clear Nocturne, which is a really lovely black pigment ink. It's perfect for sentiments because it gives you a really crisp finish, and I'm actually going to stamp it twice just to give a really good black. So now I'm just going to roughly work out my layout of all the items that I've coloured in. I'm really happy with how this is starting to look, and while I'm putting all those little pieces of grass on, I don't actually end up using them all. Right, so now's the real fun part of putting it all together. I'm going to pop up the frame. You'll see that as I pull it apart, the frame portion of it. So I want to give a little bit of dimension, just helps give a nicer look. So I'm going to just use some foam, just some craft foam, which has already got adhesive on one side, and then I'll do my usual using my foam glue for the sticking it actually down onto the card base, which I've already pre-cut. This is actually specialty glue that I use, which is specifically for foam and things like glitter and other little embellishments, but I really like it for the foam because it gives a really good stickability. Now I'm just going to insert those other panels inside, making sure I put them the right way up. So I'm just using my sticky thumb, double-sided tape, to apply those. Using the tape again, the foam again, to apply to the back of the pigs. So this will make sure that the pigs actually sit level with that top frame as well. And just sticking that down with my foam glue. Just applying all the little extra bits. This lovely little bowler hat, and the cute little girl pig. That could be used as a bow tie as well. And actually I'd also put some little white gel dots onto that bow, just to give it a bit more of a girly feel. And then putting the envelope in the pig's trotter, I suppose you'd say, not his hand. Yeah, just applying all the little pieces of grass, and I'm just using my normal tacky glue for that and my other fine line bottle. Some of the pieces are a little bit fiddly, the smaller bits, so I just use my tweezers to apply those, especially down, because that's in a lower level, those bits at the back, so it's a bit hard to get down there with your fingers. So then I decided I wanted to put some few hearts on there, so I've got the Thickers puffy stickers from American Crafts called Colourful, and they've got the perfect size little puffy hearts. So I just apply one to the envelope, and actually I deleted a little bit of this video so you don't see both the other two hearts that I've applied, but you do see them in the finished photos. That's my finished card, so I hope you've enjoyed watching, and come back to view some more videos. Thanks.